Oh, guys, I am sorry. If you came back, God love you. I blew a fuse. So I'm just going to try to decoupage this top tonight, and then I'm going to finish it and show you tomorrow. My apologies, and if you came back, I appreciate you. I just blew a fuse. So if tonight could get any worse, I don't know how, but hate to say that because you never know. So anyway, look what I'm doing. I'm using this beautiful decoupage paper, and I'm trimming off the edges. So it has a little border all around it, and I'm trimming that off. I already did one, and I'll show you. It's laying in here, and I'll show you how you do the decoupage process. I think we've done it before, but like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole thing all over again. Um, uh, just quite a night. But I guess you'll have this, right? I'm sure every budding YouTuber has had these types of situations. And as with anything else in life, when it goes wrong, you just keep going, right? So I have one more little strip to cut off of this side. It's real little. I love this design. It's just real simple, and it's very like shabby chic. But right now, the word is cottage core. It's kind of an English country, granny chic, shabby chic kind of look, and it kind of incorporates the farmhouse. It's just, another trend and another way to sell things, I guess, probably. So what we're doing here, I'll tip this up a little bit so you can see it, but we're just laying it in here. And these papers are great because you can put them end to end and they match up. They're designed to do that. And it's easy when you're using a table because it's all straight. And they're great because you can kind of fold them a little bit to get them to fit. So they come with 3 sheets in the package. I know why it's hot in here because I also, when I blew the fuse, the air conditioner went off. So, but I have a fan going. I'm just gonna sweat and finish. Maybe it'll be a little quieter. Alrighty, so I'm gonna line those up. I don't want it to look like there's a seam there, but I also don't want to overlap it so that it looks like it's paper. I want it to look real. So, all right, so I'm getting it here and I'm just using my fingernails to crease it. And that way we'll know where to cut it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it down in front of me so I can see it, so I cut it straight. And I see that I kind of messed it up a little bit. But you know what? The beauty of it is we can also touch it up with paint around the edges too. So, I didn't quite have that in the corner here. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have it cut right. Okay, so I have to trim a little bit more. See, I couldn't mess up much more tonight, right? So I just want to get it straight. Do you ever do that? Do you ever like beat yourself up over stuff like this? Not worth it. I could be mortified and embarrassed, but let me let me help you feel better tonight for the when you make mistakes. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like in here, and of course there's a strip down there too. But let me use the what I brought home to use is clear coat and flat, and that's going to be our decoupage medium. Oh boy, and of course this is an opening. Okay, be right back. Hot water. And we're back. That works on this. It just gets clogged, I guess, with so hot water will do it, and smacking it around on the counter. You probably heard that. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is just coat the top with the flat sealer. I'm doing it up until that one section there that I still have to coat, because when I fit it, I don't want it to be wet because I don't want it to stick. Okay, so just putting a coat of that all over the whole top. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece and lay it into the corner. Up against the edge here. You have a little bit of playtime with this. You can move it around just a little bit, but you're going to want to get committed at some point here. Okay, so I'm a little crooked here. Go figure, right? Okay, so that's straight. All right, so I have it pretty nice and flat. And then I'm going to take this other piece and fit it in up against it. So we want these edges to meet, and we want to go into the corner. So all that stuff needs to happen. I think I'm going to try the corner first. And that looks pretty good. It's overlapping a really tiny bit, but you really can't tell. All right, it's nice to work on a flat surface, because sometimes when you work with this, you end up with a little bit of wrinkles, and it's nice to not have wrinkles. Okay, so I pressed it down. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is fit this other section here. So I'll only need to really cut off one end. I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. Well, that's where that ended. So I'm just going to kind of follow along. Wait. I'll make sure I'm going right. So that, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along this kind of brown patterned area and go to the next pattern that was on there, and then it'll just kind of look like a nice repeat. So I love that floral. And I'm going to trim the edges, and then I won't trim the top because I'm going to end up doing like I did with the other one with my fingernail to fit it in. But I'm going to have to cut this other end off down here. So maybe someday I'll have a production company and I won't have to worry about this stuff. Maybe. Okay, so I'm just going to crease it. And then cut that. Okay, so I just have this strip. I'm just going to lay it in here. Kind of a dry fit, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut that. It should be the right length because we cut that before. Okay, and it is not the same way. I don't know why, but we'll just cut that end and this. So creasing both of those sides, and then we'll cut it. All right. Okay, so let me put my flat coat down in this area. And if you get any on the paint, it's okay. It's just gonna dry clear and it's just gonna be a flat sheen to it. But we are going to do a second coat on the table itself, on the painted areas. So we'll get our satin sheen back from the silk. Trying to match that pattern up a little bit. It's pretty random, so I think we'll be okay here. Either way, it sort of ends up being the same. I think this table's really super cute. Definitely going to be very cottagecore, granny chic, whatever you want to call it these days. Shabby chic. So again, I suggest that you use a light color like a white underneath it. But I think this is actually doing okay with this. Another thing we can do when it's all dry is come over this with a white wax, and that might actually bring some of that white back. But I'm liking it as it is because I think this color is just perfect. You know, it's like not too, I might have to put a little patch in there. I kind of ran my brush under there and now I see there's a little line, little opening where I didn't cut straight. So we'll make it work. As Tim Gunn always said on Project Runway, make it work, designers. And you know, I always say no accidents. You always make it look like it's supposed to be that way. So you can sort of distress decoupage too. We could do that. But I think what I'm going to do is just touch up that little spot and just going to cut a little bit of that brown. And I know you can't see what I'm talking about, but I'll try and hold it up so you can see. There's this one little spot right here that I kind of missed. So I just cut a teeny tiny little bit of the brown and I'm just going to lay it in there. And decoupage over it. Yeah, that really helped. I don't think you'll be able to tell. Okay, so I'm just going over it again here. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And then as always, stay tuned and look at my Instagram tomorrow and I'll have the finished piece. I guess I lied. I said start to finish. You know what? We could keep going. If you're game, I'm game because I've only been on 17 minutes this time. But really, there's not much left to do. Definitely, I'm not using the hairdryer, but what I want to do is just put a second coat of the paint on and then distress it. But I'm going to take a look at it because I wanted to use dark wax on it. Since it was kind of a dark table, I don't know whether it's going to need a second coat or not if I do that. I might even do a sand distress on it too, but I probably should wait until the paint dries and evaluate it in the daylight and the better light. But anyway, let me show you what this top looks like. I think it's really, really cute. Let me turn the dining room light down just a tad because I think it's so bright right on there. I think you might get a better look at it. Isn't that cute? So we're going to let that dry. Like I said, it doesn't look like it needs a second coat, but it probably will when I look at it in the morning. So I love it. I love it. I'm really happy that I chose this paper. And I really apologize for the mess up tonight. And, you know, I'm sure if you stick with my channel, it'll happen again. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. And feel free to comment. And I'd love it if you share the videos. And again, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and stay cool. If you're in a hot place like me, stay cool. Okay, bye-bye. Have a good night.